Today we're here with the book Shouting Won't Help by Catherine Bouton. It is a nonfiction autobiography with Catherine being the main character and setting is in New York City. And she talks about how she has late onset hearing loss.
Catherine starts the book talking about her sudden onset hearing loss. The book primarily focuses around how the sudden onset hearing loss has affected her life. It talks about how she ignored her hearing loss for like the first 20 years of her life. And after like not being able to just kind of go through the daily motions anymore, she got fitted for hearing aids, and she got hearing aids in both of her ears, but she didn't wear them consistently, which caused poor results just from not being consistent with wearing the hearing aids. So 10 years after getting her hearing aids, she gets an FM system in place of a support, but even that is still not enough. And so in late October of 2008, Catherine talks about how she finally went profoundly deaf in one of her ears and how in the other ear she needed supportive hearing aid. And so she made the decision to get implanted for a cochlear, and after doing the cochlear implant, she went through lots of therapy, like speech therapy and learning how to listen with her new cochlear implant. But even then, she was refusing to acknowledge her hearing loss, and it affected her her workplace and her job, which ended up causing her to quit. But throughout the whole story, Catherine gave a lot of insight to hearing loss and how it has different effects when you have sudden onset hearing loss compared to being born with it, or having hearing loss when you're younger. And so it was really insightful and helpful to read about the differences.
So this book could influence teachers of the deaf by allowing them to understand the feelings that go along with having hearing loss. Catherine describes how expensive and timely it is to go to all the doctors that are involved when someone has hearing loss. She describes the feelings that she has being in a strictly hearing environment, especially in the workplace. This would hopefully give insight on a deaf lifestyle to those who teach the deaf. This book could also relate to both parents and students who are hard of hearing. Students could find comfort in the fact that even adults, who are usually viewed as having everything figured out, is struggling and willing to accept help. The parents can sympathize with the exhaustion of doctor's appointments and the cost of equipment, as well as the difficulty of making life-changing decisions such as getting an implant.
In the book, Catherine views her hearing loss as a negative, as do some people in the deaf community. Like many others, she did not want to accept it at first, for obvious reasons, not wanting to be looked down upon on or made fun of by other people. She also didn't tell her workplace, which, for obvious reasons, I don't think any of us would do the same. Because, like, you don't want to be made fun of, you don't want to be put down, or let alone get fired. Along with a lot of people, she voiced, but some other people would use ASL, cued speech, signed English, or, like I said, voice, or use listening spoken language. In the book, Catherine uses an FM system, or she tried speakers, etc., and I know that people use FM systems, personal ones, and then the ones in the classroom. Unlike a lot of people, Catherine got implanted later in life, and then towards her older ages, she accepted her hearing loss for who she was.
That is Shouting Won't Help. Thank you. Bye-bye.
See you next time.